Today I'm showing you how to make this beautiful masterpiece. This is a 7-ounce prime rib, dry brined, rubbed, cold smoked with cherry wood, and finished at 325 to get a nice crust on the outside. Let me show you how I did it. What's up, barbecue fans? What's up, barbecue fans? My name is Jake, and today we're talking meat. Not just any meat. This is a 7-pound prime rib roast. The bones have been removed, and as you can see, I mean, right now it's looking like a thing of beauty before it's even cooked. About 30 hours ago, I took the fat cap off this guy. The reason why I did that is because I want to let all the seasoning, my flavor, get into the meat, right? Prime rib does not traditionally have a lot of flavor unless you give it some attention and do a little bit of extra steps to it, and you can make yourself something that's absolutely delicious. So what I did is I removed that fat cap. Then I took some Diamond Crystal kosher salt and I gave a heavy coating to the entire outside, bottom, top, sides, and let it sit on this rack. And I threw it in my fridge. So that's what we call a dry brine. Then this morning, 24 hours later, what I did is we got out some fresh garlic. Don't use the stuff that's in the jar, the pre-mint stuff, it's terrible. Use some fresh garlic, takes a little bit extra work, but I guarantee you, if you start doing that, you'll get way better results. We took the skin, what do you call that stuff? Paper off the garlic. Then we chopped it all up nice and fine. Then I got out some fresh rosemary. Unfortunately, the rosemary, I didn't look at it until I got out of the package, and some of it was actually already starting to turn, so I couldn't use it all. I would have liked to use a little bit more. And then what I did with the leaves is we chopped them all up nice and fine, and then we got some thyme. And you can never go wrong with thyme. You can use as much as you want. I used about a third of one of those containers. I'm gonna use a little bit more later on. And then because I wanted it to stick to my prime rib, I threw it in a bowl and I mixed in some W sauce, some red wine, and olive oil. I used some olive oil to help thicken it up a little bit, and then I gave it a quick stir. I've got one of those little mini food processors, blitz it and get it to thicken up even more, but I decided not everyone has one of those, so we just did it like that. Gave it a quick stir, and then I just put it on the outside, and it's been, I don't know, 4.5 hours since we did that. If I had time, I would let this go for another 4 hours, but it's gonna rain tomorrow, so we've got to do this today. The one thing that I did not do yet, and not for any particular reason other than the fact that I forgot, is to put some pepper on this. So I got out my pepper can in here. Want to do that. You know what? We're gonna do it. Use a fork, maybe. Just want to make sure I can get. You gotta make sure you get all the sides. When you do something like this, the outside is what's gonna give you a bunch of flavor when you eat it. Nice. Now that we've got that, we will get out our Tyfer Sink Gold Duo here. We're going to put this right smack dab in the middle. Now we've got to get in through this line, right? So we'll go right in like so. As you can see, or will see, it's about 37 going down. So let's see what we got here. Now I'm in an advanced mode so I can see all the sensors, but what are we doing here? We are doing a roast. First of all, this is prime rib. I am gonna cook this to about 125. And look, I like mine to finish off somewhere around 130, 132, 135 tops. So 125, what this will do is this will probably pull it off at like 120 or so, maybe 118, because it's allowing for carryover already. I'm gonna let it go to 125, and then I'm gonna check the temperature, make sure it's where I want it. But I'm gonna pull it off somewhere between 120 and 128 to give you an idea. But what we're gonna do first is I already went out and I fired up my Kamado 38 inch. And I'm using 2 pieces of cherry wood from Bear Mountain, and then I'm using some Bear Mountain lump on top of that. Got out my Grill Blazer grill gun, got our charcoal going, and you can see that I just focused on a very small spot in the center. The reason why I'm doing that is after I had it lit, I threw another chunk of cherry in there, and then I opened up the top vent a couple turns, the bottom turn about a quarter, or the bottom vent around a quarter, and we're trying to get that up to temperature to about 200. All right, I'm sitting about 180 right now, and what I did is I went back out and I dialed down my top vent, so I always go all the way to close it, and then I open it up maybe a quarter of a turn, and then we take that bottom vent and I take it down to about an eighth open. And that's gonna give us about 200. Might have to dial up a little bit back. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get some smoke into this. Cherry wood is delicious on beef, but I don't want to cook it too much, because what I'm going to do is then I'm going to bump up my temperatures and I'm going to work on getting a nice crust on the outside and dry this up, and then we'll let it rest. But for now, let's go put this guy on the Kamado. So what we're doing here on our Kamado is I have a hot zone on the left, a cold side on the right. We're putting the prime rib on the cold side, and we're going to close it up and let it just roll at 200 for a good hour and a half. Check out this thing of beauty. Let me bring you up to speed. So we cherry wood smoked it for about an hour and a half, around 210. And then I bumped up the temperatures and we peaked about 325. Bulk of the cook was around 300 ambient probe temp, and it cooked for another 2 hours and 15 minutes. Right, so total cook time was around 3 hours and 45 minutes. That might have my 15-minute rest in it. So, you know, think about 3.5 hours. This is a 7-pound prime rib, all right? And it smells good, it looks good. Take this guy out here, and I'm gonna need a bigger knife. Oof. Does not get much better than that, in my opinion. We peaked around 134, which is perfect for me. Looking super juicy, smelling amazing. You can see a very dominant cherry wood smoke here. And you know what happens when you use cherry wood smoke, we get a little bit of a red color to it. You can really see it on that piece there and all the way across the top, right? Just adds a really nice color to it, adds a little sweetness to it. I'm being swarmed by dogs. Let's come in here and we'll have a piece right out of here. Lots of flavor, super moist and tender. You can actually taste a little bit of garlic, not that much, right? It looked like it had a lot of garlic there. It's only coating the entire outside, so it's not super garlicky if you're worried about that when you saw it earlier. Just a nice, enjoyable bite. Let me take a piece from this bottom side here. Crust is nice. That's good. Let's see if it's doggy approved. I'm sure it is. All right. Ollie. Cook and cook. It always lays down and waits for me to bring it to her. Apparently it's doggy approved. There you have it. Jake approved, dog approved. A delicious prime rib. You gotta start it a couple days in advance, but the results are absolutely worth it. Whether you're doing a holiday meal or maybe it's just a Sunday and you feel like making something nice for the family, I've got you covered here. Look, if prime rib's not your thing, I got a turkey video here that is absolutely killer, full of moisture, the juiciest turkey you'll ever have. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you soon.